then, friends.
Here we go.
Whew. Another Friday.
Yeah, we did it.
Another beer. Another occasion for us to drink while...
On the clock.
Yeah, while on the clock. I love that our new producer Jordan.
Producer pajamas.
So back in the day, I would drop beers off to our other producers. Mm-hmm. And they were like, I don't want the extras. Jordan, he's taking them all.
One thing that we've learned about Jordan is that if there are free sandwiches and free beer
Free
available,
anything.
he will take it.
Free anything.
Yep.
It's all his.
I appreciate that about you. It makes me, it has built a respect.
You give, I'll take.
How about that?
Let's keep drinking. Let's keep drinking.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
So
And
the original beer for breakfast, Mahoney.
The original beer for breakfast. I think this is year number 17 or 18, maybe 19. We've been doing this a long time. Often imitated, never duplicated. The beer that we're featuring today is the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime. Got
This is going to
guy?
be like a Bud Light Lime.
I mean, kind of right. It's a pretty accessible
Shiner
beer.
is a nationally, distributed beer across the country.
like
This is
Shiner.
a year-round beer. Yeah, Shiner is one of my favorite. Like, if I'm going to just like a macro beer, Shiner's
good. Sure.
one of my top picks. So that's kind of what my thought was. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. It's summertime and it's warmer out there. So sea salt and lime sounds very refreshing. And this one may be one of the lowest beer ABVs that we've ever featured on Beer for Breakfast, coming in at only 4% ABV. So
That's
very,
low.
very low. The only thing that I can think of off the top of my head that is lower is Michelob Ultra.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is
Ultra is what? Like a...
like 3.2 or something
really?
like that.
Okay. I will say this. Shiner, you guys took away my favorite beer. Do you guys remember during the pandemic they made
That prickly pear?
Prickly pear. And then Mick Ultra actually tried to do a prickly pear Mick Ultra, and it just never, it had no flavor. But it was their best beer, and they took it away. And they need to bring it back. This is me writing a very stern letter in a Karen way. Bring back the prickly pear Shiner. It was so good.
So it was a Shiner prickly pear?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was?
We featured it on the show once. I liked it. It was unique, in my opinion.
So this is, like you said, pairs nicely with summer, but I'm curious to see how this review goes because this is a beer that I don't believe you'd had before today, right?
I had not had this beer before today. This is a beer, as I said, available year-round as well, which is actually kind of surprising to me. The 5 categories in which we rate every single beer here on Beer for Breakfast are look, smell, taste, feel, and drinkability. Let's start off with the look of the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime. Easy
There's
for me to say.
no carbonation.
I mean, very,
very
little carbonation. Clear,
Flat.
like golden yellow. A
Hydrated.
respectable amount of fizzy head, though, with an aggressive pour. But you saw me pour it earlier this morning, and that was a aggressive pour. Got about 2.5 fingers of that fizzy white head that just receded almost instantly and left behind no lacing. There is no lacing from this beer whatsoever. Let's move on to the next category of the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime, which is the smell. A lot of S's. Ooh. I just did a line of it.
He's got
I
it
got
dripping off his nose.
My nose I got in there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's not a big nose. You have to really
Yeah.
get in there.
I mean, you do.
You smell some lime. That's about it.
I would
I
say
smell citrus.
pretty mild. The lime, that's about it. Little tartness in there. I mean, even when I just dunked my nose.
Is it like in the back of your throat now?
No, it's not. I mean, it's still pretty mild, all things considered. Even though my nose, like literally just dunked my my nose into this
You got
beer.
the whole beak in there, man.
I certainly
Yeah.
did. I don't know what that says about me or this beer. Let's move on to the taste, and I'll take a drink of the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime. Cheers, friends. Another week of employment. We haven't been fired yet, but we usually do get fired on Fridays. Mm-hmm.
After the show.
Thursday that one time.
Yeah, that one time.
That one time. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fine. Just took a drink. You know, I've gotten through about half of this pint. It's kind of underwhelming, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of lime,
When
though.
you call it sea salt and lime, I was hoping it would lean more into the sea salt
Yes.
than the lime. And the sea salt's just not there. The
You
lime
could probably
is.
put a salt rim on this.
Yeah.
It may be better, but like we have to judge these on where they are as they
Currently.
offer them.
This
you know?
would definitely be a good salted rim.
Like this would be a great beer to put into a margarita.
Sure.
A
Yeah.
beer, for sure.
Producer Jordan, your thoughts on the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime?
Pretty simple flavor profile. I mean, it's just like it feels like just a normal average light beer to me. Not really too strong on any flavors. Just
not overwhelming.
You don't feel like the lime is kicking your
I feel like the lime is certainly the most
Holy moly.
prominent of all of the flavors for me. You know, it's like the nose, the tartness, that lime. Those are the most noticeable of all the flavors. A very light grain note in the middle. 0 alcohol. The finish for me is the only presence where it's the lightest. You have to really be looking for the salt in this, and I'm with you. Like, this is kind of trying to emulate, I guess, a Goes, which is my favorite style of beer during the summer, but this one just does not do it well.
Drucifer in the chat, twitch.tv/Dave Mahoney, I think kind of nailed it. He said lime beer flavored sparkling water, which is almost what this tastes like.
I mean, coming in at 4% alcohol by volume. Audrey, is this a bathing suit beer for you?
Yeah, this is definitely a beer that I think that this is not a knock to Shiner, because again, I enjoy
We love
Shiners.
Shiner, and we talked about the prickly pear.
I think this is just one of those beers, whenever it's really, really hot and you'll just kind of like drink whatever.
Yeah.
Like even like a Bud Light or like a Natty Light does well if you're by the pool and you're hot enough. This just kind of just tastes like lime to me. I really don't taste the beer, which is probably a good thing. It just tastes like a roided out Bud Light lime. Seriously, to me.
And it does have that similar fake lime
Yes.
feel to it. That I will say this, and I will get to that in my final wrap up. It does have that weird kind of fake lime feel to it. The mouthfeel on this, it's light bodied, it's liquid, it's wet. I mean,
It's just a
it's
beer.
not
Very
it's
light.
not crisp.
Yep.
That was the hardest part of writing this review, is trying to find 3 descriptors there, but it's liquid, it's wet, and it's light bodied.
you
So
go.
we have that. The overall drinkability for the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime. This is a low ABV beer that may hit the spot for some on a really hot summer day, but the price point is actually really high for what it is, in my
really?
opinion.
How much was it?
I mean, $9.99 for a 6-pack of 4% ABV.
Oh, okay.
So for me, your bang for your buck when you're just trying to turn up is not there for that. I think this is more of a one and done beer for me. I think it's better than the generic macro lime beers out there, but not by much.
It's roided out Bud Light lime again.
If it's in a cooler and there's nothing else to drink,
if it's the last thing floating at the bottom of the cooler, which it probably would be.
I will drink this before I drink malt liquor, but not
Maybe.
a Mickey's.
Yeah, Mickey's.
Can I get a drum roll, please? Oh! Mahoney's Beer Scale Supremacy. I get the Shiner Sea Salt and Lime, a 2.9 out of 5.
Fair.